Welcome to the Pocket Talk session of IGEM 2020, International Green Tech and Eco Products Exhibition and Conference. IGEM 2020 is deemed as the biggest flagship event, organized by Ministry of Environment and Water, KASA, and co-organized by Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Center, MGTC. This Pocket Talk session is brought to you by Bioenerco, the premium biomass fuel energy producer from Malaysia. In fact, our company, Bioenerco, has been taking part in IGEM for the past 3 years ago as ordinary visitors who just followed our instincts and curiosity to stroll around the halls. Last year, we were delighted that MGTC offered us an opportunity to be the main sponsor for the Mai Jiao Pavilion. As for this year, we are on another new learning curve to exhibit our booth and conduct our Pocket Talk virtually. We cannot see you and hear you, and you cannot see us or touch us, but we know that we are here for each other. By the way, my name is Jack. It is my honor to be here to share with you my 2 cents of the biomass energy in general. There are things that you don't know, and there are things that you know. There are things that you thought you don't know, and there are things that you thought you know. Regardless of what you think you are always right about what you think. This may not be relevant to you, but you will eventually find out something useful for you. Today, our main intention here is not to ask you to buy anything from Bioenerco, and not everyone needs the product of Bioenerco. The main purpose of this sharing is to raise awareness about the importance of biomass as a form of renewable energy. Before we start, let us have a look at the overview of this Pocket Talk session. Part 1, Current Environment. Part 2, Renewable Energy. Part 3, Biomass Energy. Part 4, Bioenerco. Let us start with a simple question. Do you know the difference between house and home? You probably already know the nuance of the two terms house and home. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, we use the noun house to refer to a building. We use home in a more personal and emotional way to refer to where someone lives. A house refers to a building in which someone lives. In contrast, a home can refer either to a building or to any location that a person thinks of as the place where she lives and that belongs to her. As you can see in the picture with the world's tallest twin towers, the Petronas Twin Towers, you may have already guessed it correctly. This is Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. This is also my home. Another riddle for fun. Do you know the 4 seasons in Malaysia? As we all know, Malaysia also has 4 seasons: raining season, haze season, mosquito season, and durian season. Other than the last one, the rest are all negative. For your information, Malaysia has a population of 30 million. This is the view of Fuji Mountain in Japan. It is so mesmerizing until it can easily be the wallpaper on computer. Japan has a population of approximately 130 million. It is 4.3 times more than Malaysia. Usually we will have a few business trips to Japan, but not for this year. Anyone can guess where this place is? It is correct, this is Seoul. We can see that the city is so urbanized and lively. South Korea has a population of 50 millions. It is 1.6 times more than Malaysia and 10 times of Singapore, 5 millions.
Here is Tiananmen, China. A home for 1.3 billion people, the most populated country in this world. She has just celebrated its National Day recently, without any huge military parade and nationwide celebrations. So does anyone know the latest population of our world? It is around 7.8 billion, according to the website World Meters. But the question is, does our world only belong to human being, the so-called Homo sapiens?
We have our friends who are living in the sky. Also, don't forget about the home for the fishes, Little Mermaid and Aquaman. And the home for Flora, Fauna and Tarzan. It is also the green lung of our Earth. So let us get back to the same question, does our world only belong to human being? Wouldn't you agree that the world does not only belong to the human race? It belongs to all living creatures on this planet, just that now it is human being that is taking the lead in managing the Earth. We are like the management company of your apartment, and we hope we can pass down a good system and mechanism to the next generation without destroying our apartment, the place where we live. So far, there is only population tracker for human, but not other creatures. We do not have a figure of how many animals, excluding human, are actually staying on Earth. We do not have that head count, but we know that the number is astronomical. One thing we shall know is, we are only borrowing this place to live, and we share the same space with our other friends from the sky, from the ocean, and from the jungle. Without the Mother Earth, without our home, we are nothing. What shall we do when there is no more Mother Earth? Until one day, our Mother Earth is sick again. And it is not for the first time. Nevertheless, again and again, our Mother Earth has been sending us different signals, in different way, whether we are conscious or unconscious about it. Have we received any signal? Have we taken note any signal? Have we really treated the signal seriously? Maybe you have got the answer with you. It is something like our body. Before we are really sick, our body will send us different signals, like migraine, stomachache, dizziness, and etc. For some people, they will treat it with caution, but for some people, they just wait until all signals appear, but by the time, it might be too late. You are probably already aware of the fact that there are countless of signals and they are way too obvious. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has taught human race a great lesson about hygiene and respect. It even changes our lifestyle and daily habit with the so-called new normal. We all probably already aware of it or experience it now. We can no longer shake others' hands or give a hug. We can no longer see others' facial expression that is underneath the face mask. For Malaysian, the number that we care more is no longer the lottery like Magnum 4D, Sports Toto Jackpot or Tama Chai, but the daily COVID-19 report from our Ministry of Health. In Malaysia, we see the face of Health Director General, then Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, more frequent than any others, even our parents. When you really begin to accept the new normal, you will start to realize that you took so many things for granted in the past. How much we wish we could have a time machine to travel to the past and prevent this from happening. Indonesia's most active volcano, Mount Merapi, erupted and spewed out 6 km column of ash in March 2020, according to ABC News. It said the eruption lasted almost 8 minutes and warned of a risk of further eruptions due to continuing movements of magma. Indonesia, an archipelago of more than 17,000 islands and islets, has nearly 130 active volcanoes. the last major eruption of Mount Merapi, in year 2010, killed 353 people. Australia bushfire season, which stretched from June 2019 to March 2020, devastated portions of the country, scorching an estimated 46 million acres, destroying more than 5,900 buildings, including 2,779 homes, and killing at least 34 people. The summer months of December and January were particularly devastating, as hundreds of fires burned and state of emergency were declared in New South Wales, Victoria, and the Australian Capital Territory. From the picture, we can see that a helicopter dumps water on a fire in Victoria's East Gippsland region on December 30, 2019. Fires continued to rage in Australia into 2020, causing fatalities and compromising air quality. The aftermath of Typhoon Mangkhut, on September 17, 2018, in Hong Kong, its path took it westward, across the Philippines, then into Hong Kong, and southeastern China. The typhoon kept tearing up villages and cities, flooding coastlines and plains, and causing massive landslides. At least 50 people are known to have been killed by Mangkhut so far, most in the Philippines. This was an earthquake incident in our neighboring country, Indonesia in 2018. Indonesia's Palu was hit by a triple whammy of a 7.4 magnitude earthquake, a tsunami and soil liquefaction. The death toll stands at 3,700, and roughly 700 people are still listed missing, either swept out to sea, or buried under thick layers of mud and debris. A satellite image of the Petobo neighborhood of Palu, Indonesia on August 17, 2018, before and after the earthquake. A tsunami reaches Miyako City, overtopping seawalls, and flooding streets in Iwate Prefecture, Japan, after the magnitude 9.0 earthquake struck the area March 11, 2011. Houses, some ablaze, are swept by seawater following a tsunami and earthquake. All of these Kit Kat chocolated wafer bar that you see from the pictures are cargo containers in real life. The size of a container can be in 20-footer or 40-footer. Cargo containers lie toppled and scattered after the earthquake in Sendai, Japan on March 12, 2011. Officials in protective gear check for signs of radiation on children from the evacuation area near the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in Koriyama on March 13, 2011. The movie Like the Day After Tomorrow might no longer be fictional one day. If one day Malaysia was snowing, remember to book your ticket to Mars. This was another famous movie that was depicting the end of the world in 2012. By that time, there were plenty of news about the predicted apocalypse, or the end of the day, by the Mayan. Luckily, the Mayan calendar did not cease to exist on December 22, 2012. You might have noticed that it is time to change the way we treat our Mother Earth, and it is now or never, before it is too late. We all know that it is not easy to change our habit or behavior. But if we all look beyond it, we will see what our real home really is. We, as the biomass fuel energy producer, will contribute our part to this Mother Earth through our manufacturing of high-grade biomass for energy generation. However, whenever we mention to others that we are doing biomass, or producing biomass, A lot of people will surely scratch their heads or raise their eyebrows. I wonder whether you are aware of biomass. Some might ask, what is biomass? Some even might ask in Malaysian slang, biomass can eat or not? Renewable energy, often referred to as clean energy, comes from natural sources, or processes that are constantly replenished. For example, sunlight, or wind, keep shining and blowing, even if their availability depends on time and weather. Non-renewable, or dirty energy, includes fossil fuels such as oil, gas, and coal that is formed from the decayed remains of plants or animals. Non-renewable sources of energy are only available in limited amounts, and take a long time to replenish. When we pump petrol at the petrol station, we're using a finite resource, refined from crude oil, that's been around since prehistoric times. So from this picture, how many types of the renewable energy you could identify? Yes, as you sit there, listening to me, you might already got the right answers. Let us have a look of them one by one. Solar energy. Humans have been harnessing solar energy for thousands of years to grow crops, stay warm, and dry foods. There is more energy from the sun falls on the earth in 1 hour than is used by everyone in the world in 1 year. Today, we use the sun's rays in many ways to heat homes and businesses, to warm water or power devices. Hydropower. Hydropower relies on water, typically fast-moving water in a large river, or rapidly descending water, from a high point, and converts the force of that water into electricity by spinning a generator's turbine blades. Wind power. We've come a long way from old-fashioned windmills. Today, turbines as tall as skyscrapers, with turbines nearly as wide in diameter, stand at attention around the world. Wind energy turns a turbine's blades, which feeds an electric generator, and produces electricity. Geothermal power. If you've ever relaxed in a hot spring, you've used geothermal energy. The Earth's core is about as hot as the sun's surface, due to the slow decay of radioactive particles in rocks at the center of the planet. Drilling deep wells brings very hot underground water to the surface as a hydrothermal resource, which is then pumped through a turbine to create electricity. Biomass. Biomass is organic material that comes from plants and animals, and includes crops, waste wood, and trees. When biomass is burned, the chemical energy is released as heat and can generate electricity with a steam turbine. Biomass is organic, meaning it is made of material that comes from living organisms, such as plants and animals. The most common biomass materials used for energy are plants, wood, and waste. These are called biomass feedstocks. But any organic materials can produce biomass energy. We would like to suggest something very innovative as a new source of biomass energy. For example, peanut shells, durian husks, human manure, hair, and others. As long as they are the organic substances, are of the sort produced by or found in living things, they will be considered as biomass. These are the benefits of using biomass energy. These are the main usage of biomass energy. What you see is the cycle of biomass. Biomass is an integral part of Earth's carbon cycle. Biomass is a clean, renewable energy source. Its initial energy comes from the sun, and plants, or algae biomass, can regrow in a relatively short amount of time. Trees, crops, and municipal solid waste are consistently available and can be managed sustainably. If trees and crops are sustainably farmed, they can offset carbon emissions when they absorb carbon dioxide through respiration and release oxygen back to the atmosphere. Therefore, it is utmost crucial to maintain the sustainability of biomass energy. Our company, Bioeneco, has a dream of having greens come true. Our main objective is to turn the unwanted waste into wealth. We wish to offer our green products as a source for fighting climate change. Our products are not only sustainable, renewable, but also affordable. Our wood chips are sourced under strict PEFC guidelines and classified as a sustainable biomass resource. The wood chip is rotary dry processed to control moisture and eliminate contaminants, resulting in a clean and safe product. Our premium wood pellet are tested and certified by CRIM Standards and Industrial Research Institute of Malaysia. It has high calorific values, which is proven and certified by renowned independent lab testing services such as SGS. Developed and manufactured exclusively by Bioeneco, our premium palm kernel shell offers a simple, clean and very efficient alternative to traditional mined coal. It is 100% organic ingredients with benefits to our health as well as to the environment. Bioeneco is leaving a legacy for mankind. Together, we can make a difference. Please be reminded to visit our microsite later. We will wait for you there. Thank you.